What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Madhouse. And today, the Madhouse is somewhere a little bit different because my wife and I are doing the Princess Challenge down in Disney World. So we are having a great time living in the most magical place on earth. But I did want to still bring some great gameplay, and that's what this is today. So, recording the intro in the magical Disney universe, but I played this match the other day at Born to Game in Camden, Delaware. And this is a really fun match. You're not going to learn a whole lot about how to expertly pilot Baja Blast because I did not expertly pilot it, but there's a lot to be learned all the same. I do catch a lot of my mistakes in the gameplay, but one thing to note that is really important is that this game could have gone differently if I respected all of the cards more. And what I mean is I never looked deep into Speed Racer decks because they weren't meta relevant, and I got hit by a lot of things I just didn't expect because I didn't respect the cards. So the lesson here is look at all the cards, especially going to this new set. Pay the respects so you don't get beat up by an off meta deck. But Baja Blast is a lot of fun. I definitely do recommend giving it a try. It's getting even more legs in the next set, so that's really cool. I think Baja Blast Aggro is going to be really good as well, but that's another video that we'll get into another time. But yeah, my biggest piece of advice with Baja is get turn to ramp. If you don't get turn to ramp, I think the deck will fall on its face pretty much every time. That's been the advice on pretty much anyone I've talked to that had success with Baja Blast is get turn to ramp. But I hope you all enjoy the video. Definitely feel free to point out my mistakes. I know I made them. I think I caught a lot of them and what I could have done differently, but I know I didn't catch all of them. So please let me know what lines I may have missed. And yeah, I hope you have a good time, and I hope you enjoy the video. Enjoy. All right, so here we go. This is game one. You get to kind of watch it twice here. But going into this, this is at this point my sixth match with Baja Blast. I had played it the day before, and then now we're here. Looking at this hand, um, immediately I noticed something extremely important. I do not have a ramp. So I do know he's playing an aggro deck. I do know he's playing his Speed Racer deck, but I've never played against it, so I don't really know what it does. But I do see Muses, and I know that that's a card I really want against ramp or against aggro. So let's see what I end up doing here. I'd like to say that I end up going 6 because I feel like that's the answer here because I just really need ramp. How far I'll go in Muses would be great if yep, so I went 6 because I just really want to see that ramp. As we put these 6 back, guys, let me know in the comments if you really think I messed something up because it's not an if, it's a matter of when. And because I know that this isn't my best performance. I'll say that, but we do get blessed. We see a sale, but that's yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. And like I said, it's a very interesting deck to say the least. So I understand why people like it, but I can understand why a lot of people just don't enjoy playing it as well. It's just interesting. But let's go ahead and see if we can get into the gameplay. Okay, so here we go. He is going to play a Cindy, and right off the bat, I already don't know what he's going to do. I have not paid any attention to racer decks, so I saw Cindy, and I was like, "That's interesting. What is he going to do with that?" Man, I'm about to find out. But we do get a third Muses. We get our ramp, Cricky, so probably Ink the Tipo. Okay. At this point, I realized later on how important Tipo is in this matchup. In this particular hand, maybe not so much, but getting that body down would be huge. And here I find out why Cindy is in a racer deck because of this card right here. So that card lets them search for a location, so he gets the speedway down. And I do know that that card lets you draw 3 cards and gain 3 lore. So there's a big combo piece. And I'm like, that's not a big deal. He'll get to use it one time and do some cool things. I'm not too worried about it. and then we see a daisy and a taffeta. So one thing to note is he had some phenomenal hands. I think he kept five on this one. He had his combo pieces here, and then in the last game he keeps all seven. So phenomenal hands for an aggro deck. But here, struggling, what do I want to get rid of? I know it's a location deck, so I'm thinking, okay, your welcome could be really good because it answers the locations really well, and that is really nice. But do I really want to draw him set two cards as well? And I don't think that's the answer. So just kind of wondering what I should do here. But while we wonder, we'll kind of see if there's any good conversation going on the outside. Oh, it's muted. So, but yeah, you'll see that this game is a little bit slower than a lot of my others, and essentially it's I've just never played the color pairings before, and I do make some mistakes with sequencing that I don't realize till after because
Okay. When you play this character, if you have a location, okay,
yep.
cool. So it doesn't do anything. Yep.
So I'm already trying to read.
Well,
Um,
ink, music, muses, go.
okay, so right now I'm trying to think. Grandma Tala can let me start trading into stuff and when I get her down. And then music and she can sing as well. Um so that's what I'm kind of thinking there. And because I can use Muse's effect like the turn she's played, and I think that's pretty good. So I'm okay with that move. I think this is a good route here. And we pass. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I don't think there's anything too wild that they can do here. Plays that location, and now I start to see the craziness. So they move one there, and then they can move it to the location for free, and they gain three lore, and they get to draw three cards. And immediately I'm just like, crap. Okay, but the location's gone now. So I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the like there's only three more in the deck. So it can't be that bad, right? Unfortunately, Daisy gets me a visions. It should be expected. There's not a lot of characters in this deck. So we see Grandma Tall off the top, but we know we have to go muses here so we can start doing things. I'm thinking about how badly I want to keep Cricky because Cricky lets me trade into locations. So I think that's really important. So, but we always play the muses. We are going to probably bounce. Yep. So here I mess up a lot. I mess up royally here, and this is actually massive. I did not realize there was a taffeta shift. I did not realize there was a taffeta shift, which means I did not realize what the taffeta shift does. And you were about to see that he has the taffeta shift, and I find out what the taffeta shift does. In hindsight, I would have um, hit the taffeta. I would have returned the taffeta to hand, and it would have it would have just slowed him down essentially. Because if I would have bounced the taffeta here, then I could like so here he can shift for two, bang, bang. He gets to gain two lore. Didn't realize the shift was a thing. Didn't realize you gain two lore for it. But so if I would have bounced the taffeta instead of the Cinderella, then he wouldn't have had that inkable, and he would have had to pay four to do that. So he wouldn't have been able to play Daisy or that card this turn. So right there, big mistake of just not knowing what that card is. So we've talked about it before. Off meta decks can be powerful. So that's why we like Steel Song so much. Steel Song is just the best. It is. It is the best. So here I am realizing how annoying that card is because I also realize that I'm pretty sure it's whenever you move it to a low. Even now, I still don't really know. So shame on me. But I'm pretty sure it's every time you move it. So I'm like, I need to do something about that. So I take out the locations. I could have used your welcome and returned both of them to his deck, and then he would have drawn a card. and then bounce the daisy. And that probably would have been the better play there. And that's just not, yeah, that probably would have been the better play there. Let him keep the locations. Who cares? Because now he can take out my muses, which is a big deal. Muses is a huge control piece and something I just, yeah. So we'll see. He plays this Minnie Mouse. This is the 3-2 Minnie Mouse. And whenever you ink a card, you get to bring back a location. So this is really interesting because, well, let's see. Yeah, I don't really acknowledge it right now. Um, I didn't realize how strong this card actually was. Every time he inks, he can bring back a location, which means that every time he inks, he can bring back that speedway that lets him draw 3 cards and gain 3 lore. So just, yeah, bad news bears. And you start to see how I'm being impacted by not sending back the 2-1 Taffeta. He wouldn't have been able to hit muses that. So first off, this is, see, this is where it gets super big, and this is like, I think this deck is a zero mistake deck, and most are right, but last turn I he wouldn't have been able to play the daisy and the location, which means that I wouldn't have had to use Cricky to clear both locations, which also means that this turn he wouldn't have been able to take out my muses. So all of these things are happening all because I failed to realize this shift target right here. Again, it just highlights how much one turn can really impact an entire game. Because I look at this position I'm in at this point. Here, the, this is where, again, just not knowing what cards do is really big deal. I know that I have to be weary of things, so
We'll sing your welcome on taffeta
see.
to your to into your deck, and then you draw 2 cards.
This, yep, see, this is where not knowing really hurts me because at this point I didn't realize how impactful Minnie Mouse was. And because I didn't realize how impactful Minnie Mouse was, I didn't send Minnie Mouse back. And which means that every turn he can bring a location back now if he really wanted to. And ultimately, all he needs is to get that speedway and another location and be able to just do the triggers. So now he can bring back a location. So he brings back a location, and now next turn, he can bring back the other location. So it just, again, I didn't realize how great Mini was, so I didn't bounce Mini, and look what it's doing now. So tisk 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 on me. So here, this is really unfortunate. I top deck a Bend to My Will, which is very unfortunate because, yeah, that's unfortunate. Moving on, still at 0. So here I start taking out Lilo and then questing for 3, hoping to catch up, but he can still bring back locations and Lilo every single turn now. And a 3-2 mouse. A 3-2 mouse. Tipo, great top deck. So,
Take out Lilo. I'll quest for 3. Go ahead.
unfortunate.
Yep.
Brings back Lilo. So now he gets the location to, I bet he takes the move. Yep. Because now when he inks next turn, he can bring back that other location. So you're welcome. Now, let's see what I do here. I think you're welcome my Tipo. And
I'll
I should have
sing
quested
your
first.
welcome on Tipo.
Yep, I should have quested first, which is unfortunate. And then wait till you see what I draw off of. So not only did I just not know what his cards do,
You wanna
but when
go?
I got into top deck mode,
I'll draw two.
I was in the rough place. uh,
Bend to my will.
been, yep.
I will.
So Tipo, which is just rough.
Quest for 3.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm like, I think I can win the race. Like, I think I'm in a good place to win the race. So that's what I decided to start trying to do. And we'll see. We'll see what he does here. Oh, that is what a great top deck for him. Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Mini can't quest next turn.
Yeah,
Draw a card.
we just need to draw. See.
We'll go 2 for Tipo. We'll
See, so here you see it again. I have a chance to remove the Tipo,
quest for 3.
or I have a chance to remove the Mickey, and I still don't do it because I just don't realize what it is the Mini's doing. There, I let him bring back the Lilo. It's guys, it's locals. Okay, who cares? There's nothing. There's a pack on the line. Like, but yeah, this is ultimately, he gets to do all this stuff there. Draw 3, gain 3 lore. All because again, I didn't I could have welcomed the mini there, and I just didn't realize.
Right, because you get to.
No, this was already out.
Yeah.
It's not dawning on me just how impactful that card is, what the combo is like, and ultimately, yeah, just bad news bears over and over and over again. Yeah, and then I lose 1 lore. I mean, it's not over yet, right? It's not over just yet. Genie the Piglet, most likely. So Piglet goes back to hand. And then you're welcome. So here, this is where I make another critical mistake because I don't do math. But I needed to do that actually. That was actually the right move. So here, quest for 3. And I'm trying to see, but I'm going to be at 19. But I had to take out that card because I didn't You're Welcome it forever ago. And yeah, so it's just a rough position to be in. And he got the top decks he needs. You guys saw his list, all of the Simbas, all of the other things in his deck, and just didn't draw into any of them. But just a lot of unfortunate circumstances, unfortunately. So he draws his 4th one and gets to do all of that craziness, draw 3 more cards. So not only did I just have a lot of bad sequences, he was extremely lucky. I believe that was his 4th one. That's his 3rd of that guy. He didn't see any Simbas, I don't think. Just any of the cards that don't really serve a purpose in the deck. So it's unfortunate. He also does gain 2 lore here from the Lilo that he wouldn't have been able to bring back at set champs, but yeah, it's just a lot of silliness. So, the biggest lesson to take away from this is pay respect to all the cards. Okay, take a look when the new set comes out. Oh, he did see a Simba. So there's the Simba. Ultimately, the Simba wins him this game, though. Like he finally sees the Simba, and that bodyguards everything. But the biggest takeaway here is you need to go in and you need to look at all the cards, right? You need when set 7's officially released, or when all the cards got put into Dreamborn, go into Dreamborn and just look at everything that's there. Okay, look at all the cards, read them, try and figure it out and just move on. So you at least have an idea. Because how many times did he get to bring back his locations because of the Minnie Mouse that I just ignored? He gained that 2 lore off of Taffeta. So so yeah, like ultimately that I lost that game through just not knowing what the combo is, what the deck does. My misplays didn't help either, but definitely figure out what the cards do. If we were to rerun this, I think I'd be fine. I think that this would be a very different game, um, but yeah. So looking at this next hand, I'm on the play again. No, we do have ramp. So this hand is actually not awful. We have ramp and muses, so we already feel pretty good about that. At this point, what I really want to see though is a 2-cost song. So Tipo can bounce something, and that's going to be really important in the ramp, and that's why I really like Heffalumps, and I think there's another 2-cost card, the one that draws 2 and discard 1, because you just get to that ability to bounce those Daisy Ducks and Piglets is really, really powerful. So we send back 3 so far. Kept Visions. I don't think that was the right move, and I don't think keeping that bounce card was the right move. I think I kept that bounce card simply out of fear of the Minnie Mouse, to be honest. But the thing about that Minnie Mouse is bouncing that Minnie Mouse doesn't do a whole lot because they can just play it again, ink a card, and then bring back the location. So I shouldn't have kept that uninkable. It ultimately, yeah, there was just no reason to. That was a pretty big mistake on my part. But let's push ahead. We ink a McDuck Manor and pass. Super Goof for Daisy, and here we'll ink Visions for Tipo. Get rid of Bend. All right. It's not going too bad, right? Because next turn I can muses and bounce stuff. And Daisy Clarabelle. Nice. All right. That Clarabelle's a big deal. Tipo's nice, inkable. Now I can go muses and I can start bouncing things. So probably yeah, it has to be strike a good match. So discard the Clarabelle and bounce the Lilo, hopefully. All right. Now, the reason I bounced the Lilo is because Daisy might draw me cards, right? They both quest for 2. Now, there is an argument that I should have bounced the Daisy, let him quest with Lilo, and then taken out Lilo with Muses. And I think that's a good argument. I think that's something that I could have definitely done and would have been an okay move. So, but there's that Minnie Mouse, and I hate that Minnie Mouse. All right, well, Daisy trigger, Heffalumps, unfortunate. That would have been a very, very good one to have. Visions, so probably ink that. That's our ink this turn. It's an easy ink. And then we bounce that, and then bounce the Daisy. I probably should have used Visions first. I don't know if anything would have changed this turn, but most likely should have used Visions first. Probably, yeah, Clarabelle, because I'm looking at the shift package, and I didn't have to show him what it was. Again, don't play a lot of blue cards, so we play the Clarabelle, the baby one, and we're happy with that. That's a good turn, because next turn we have the shift available. All right. All right, so he goes 4 Super Goof. Okay, takes out the Tipo, gains 2 lore. Not too shabby.
Ink Visions.
And
Go
we play
5
our
for
Clarabelle.
Clarabelle. We'll take out Super Goof.
Yep. Don't want that around.
And pass. How many cards?
Should have quested for 1
I'll
there.
draw 5.
I think I'm
Go
still a little. I don't know what's in his deck. Again, I don't know if that deck has a bunch of rush, so I'm just afraid to lose muses, so I don't. I don't know if I should have the volume on or not. I don't even know if you guys can really hear it. So if you do like the volume in these solo commentaries, let me know, and I can kind of just leave it on. If you don't, let me know, and I won't have it on, or if it needs to be louder. But all right. I'm feeling pretty good at this point. Like, I'm feeling like at this point, the game is very much mine to lose. Like, it's hard for me to lose at this point. How far I'll go, I love this card. Like, how far I'll go might be one of my favorite cards in blue at this point. Like, that ability to ramp and draw is so awesome. We take the song so we can do more bouncing.
And then I'll bounce Lilo.
All right, get that out of there. I'll take the free draw from Daisy. I'm okay with that. Or I could also just bounce the Daisy, which I don't think is a bad move.
Sail.
Okay. Ooh, nice. Ink the Tipo
Ink
and
Tipo.
something else.
Ink
Clarabelle.
Clarabelle.
I'm probably going to bounce Daisy this turn. I have a pretty good feeling. So, yep, so there's 2.
Pay 2. Daisy can't quest next turn. And I'll draw a card. 4 for McDuck.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, I should have just bounced Daisy, right? No, there's zero reason for me not to bounce
and
Daisy.
how many cards? I'll draw 1.
So yeah, I should have just bounced her. There's no good reason for me not to, because he would have had to pay 1, right? So just very silly on my part. And again, I didn't bounce because I was like, oh, I don't need to, but it left him a free character on the board. So just silly, very silly.
I hate this game.
Again, I don't know if you can hear the commentary or not. So, but yeah, we'll turn it off, and then you guys can let me know if you like it or don't like it. And if you guys like it, we'll leave it on in the future. So yeah, just like that. Because I didn't bounce Daisy, he was able to draw 3 cards and gain 3 lore with 3 ink. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely wild. So we gained 2 from McDuck Manor, but man, what just a horrible mistake on my part. So just bounce their cards. No good reason not to. All right. Okay, visions. Sure. So you better take that Peter Pan. All right, yep. Peter Pan might be the best card against this deck. Peter Pan's wild. The fact that they just can't gain lore now is just so crazy to me. Excuse me, but yeah, just absolutely wild, because now they're just dead in the water now. Like, there's nothing they can do unless they have a rush character. Yeah, so here we're going to do something. We're just like, what are all our options? Looks like we're going to sing that one to draw 2. And then this time, definitely bounce Daisy. We don't need Clarabelle. We can get rid of that. Perfect. Good. Bounce Daisy. And then do we take the location out? I don't think so, because I'm not worried about the location now. So hopefully I don't waste the 2 lore on taking out the location. Yep. Because I just don't need to. I don't need to worry about it, because Peter Pan means they can't gain lore on their turn. So essentially, unless they play Super Goof also, which is a possibility. But here, this is essentially game over. Because next turn, unless they do some crazy turn, I can bend to my will. But whatever they play, I get to play You're Welcome, and they don't get to do anything. So there's that freaking Minnie Mouse, man. Oh, I hate that card. Yep. So that's fine because you're not going to get to do anything because of Peter Pan. And then here you're going to see where it might be one of the best things about playing this deck is what is about to happen. Like it is the most fun thing, but the most terrible feeling thing in the world to do what I'm about to do because yeah, it's just nasty. It is nasty what's about to happen. So we pay 4, we sing your welcome. All right, that goes to your deck. You get to draw 2 cards. You're like, okay, all right, I'm feeling pretty happy. I'm okay with this. All right. Well, now we're about to use our welcome on something else. But first, we'll bounce something. So we bounce a Daisy or a Lilo, either one. Yep, okay. And then we can sing, hopefully sing your welcome on a location. Or we don't even do that. Well, do we? Do we? Because the move is to sing your welcome on a location. That would be the move here. Oh, we don't do it. So we did mess up. So I draw a card. You get to bounce that to your hand. Yep, so I did mess up. I should have. So there, been to my will though. Feels good, and that's where he's just like, okay, we're good. We can move on to the next game. Like just disgusting. So that game went a lot better, even though still made some mistakes, right? Like he shouldn't have gotten as high as he did. I should have bounced that Daisy Duck. But let's move on. This is where he keeps 7, unfortunately. But here I'm feeling okay. I have Tipo, which feels really good, and Strike a good match. He keeps 7. That's not good. But here I really want muses. So, all right, there we go. I don't know if I should have kept Tipo. Like I know I need muses, or not Tipo. Strike a good match. Like I know I need muses, so I probably should have gone 6. But we get muses anyways, and we feel pretty good right now. So what's the worst that can happen, right? He pulled a foil Clarabelle. Congratulations. I don't pull anything. So he plays a Daisy. All right. Here we're trying to figure out what we want to ramp. You're welcome feels pretty good, but again, I'm holding on to this idea of your I can you're welcome the 6-7 location when that will never happen. They just don't play that without just doing it in one turn. Otherwise, it's a wasted turn. So we ink that, and here I'm debating if I should play Clarabelle here, and I pass. The reason is I want the ink, right? That's what I want because I know Tipo is gonna force me to ink something here, and I don't want to ink how far I'll go, and I don't want to ink one of my 2-cost songs. So, oh, look at that turn for him. So we get a McDuck Manor from Daisy, unfortunately. Here we're feeling a little okay. We draw another song, so here we have to ink something. We ink the Clarabelle or not. We debate. I think we're fine. Yeah, I think we're fine inking the Clarabelle. Play Tipo. I almost drew a card thinking it was Sail, and then we just ink either of them. I don't think it matters for this because they're just not doing a lot of questing. So now I don't feel awful here. Like at this point, I don't feel like I'm in a super bad place because Muses is about to come down. But look at that. Already doing that combo. It is turn 2 in their never mind, it's their turn 3. Okay, it's their turn 3. It's fine. But on turn 3, they just drew 2 cards. They just drew 2 cards and gained 3 lore. All right, technical difficulties, but we're back. So, let's finish this. I just recorded about 7 minutes of gameplay before I realized that well, my computer was weird. But we're back in it. They drew a bunch of cards. Wacky turn. Unfortunate. They quest for 2 with Daisy. We see a genie. That feels pretty good. We're still not feeling like all hope is lost. Okay, we can get muses down here. We can start singing, and everything is still feeling controllable. Everything is still feeling like it's not the end of the world. So, here we can drop muses and we can sing a song. So, strike a good match or Heffalumps. I would prefer to play Heffalumps here. So, Daisy couldn't quest because we're going to bounce the Taffeta. Now, I wonder if there's a good argument to bounce the Daisy so they don't have the Inkable. So you guys let me know, is bouncing Daisy the better route because that means they lose that option to ink that card? And that might actually be the answer here. But going into our next turn, we do have How Far I'll Go and Strike a Good Match, so we can bounce a lot of stuff. So that feels really good. But yeah, I definitely think I should have bounced the Daisy. But let's see what happens here. Let's see how he responds to that turn. Remember, he did keep 7, so we probably know what's about to happen. And there, see, he did ink the taffeta, so I think I should have bounced the Daisy. I think just bounce the uninkable. Yeah, I think that was the move. So they gained 2 lore. Unfortunate. Bummer. Really hurts. Let's see what happens. That's the Fix It Felix that lets him draw a card if he has a location down. So he did have the inkable, but he would have had to ink that. So we do get How Far I'll Go. So we get to draw a card here. And I love How Far I'll Go. I think this card is so cool. The ability to gain an ink and draw is unbelievably powerful. And I never truly realized how good it was until I played this deck. Just a phenomenal card. So we do take the other How Far I'll Go. I do consider Bend to My Will if I can make it that long and control the board. And because this is a combo deck, I wonder if I should have gone that route. I wonder if I should have just taken the Bend to My Will and take his hand away. It's a combo deck, so maybe that is the play that I should have gone. And if you play Baja Blast, let me know. Like, when they're not heavy aggro, and this deck is not, it requires combo. It requires combo pieces to do what they want to do. Um, Let me know if that's the play, is just discard their whole deck or their whole hand and make them start top decking. So, yeah. Hmm. Anyways, I put the Grandma Tala on the bottom, unfortunately. Needs to go in the discard. I know Strike a Good Match can be the whole hand, but I knew I wasn't going to get rid of any of the cards in my hand. So that's why I didn't bother looking at my hand. So here, I think I should have played How Far I'll Go. Looking back. And I guess there's the spoiler. I'm about to play Muses, and looking back, I should have played How Far I'll Go. I think this was a really big mistake on my part. Just getting the hand knowledge, because I know that he's not playing a whole lot of stuff for me to bounce anyways. So just a misplay on my part. I should have just gotten the ink and then gotten the draw, because now he can do this crazy thing, draw 3. And this is where I think I should have just played Bend to My Will. But he also gains 5 from that combo because Taffeta gains 2 every time. So he's gained 4 from just Taffeta, and he's gained 6 from that one location. So he's gained a total of 10 from 2 cards. Here, we'll see how far I'll go, I'm sure. But not being able, like, we'll probably play Genie to bounce the mini, right? But this is where not having Bend to My Will really just bites me. We trade into Taffeta, and I'm pretty sure Taffeta's only a 3/3. So my Muses should have lived. I don't think it matters ultimately, but Muses should have lived. Actually, it does end up mattering. Is it enough to matter a whole lot? I'm not sure, but um, Okay, and then ink. Okay. And then I don't ink this turn, and I should have inked this manor here. Like, not inking this manor just bites me in the butt really hard. But yeah, no, what really bites me in the butt this game is not taking the bin to my will and not realizing that this is not an aggro deck. It's a combo deck that just has aggro cards in it. And if it doesn't get its combo, it just loses every single time. So I think that's what makes it so good into red blue is that you don't have characters on the field. So red blue just can't do anything. But here he plays the mini, gets to pull back that, gains the 3 lore, um, plays Voyage to move it for free, so it's not exerted anyways. And yeah, so it's just over, unfortunately. So all in all, yes. All in all, my music should still be alive. I don't, like I said though, I don't think it matters ultimately. I should have inked McDuck Manor last turn. I should have taken Ben to my will like 3 turns ago. That way he just can't do his combo stuff, and ultimately I lose the game for it. But yeah, so I did go 1-2 against this deck. In hindsight, knowing what I know now, I think that this would be a very different match. Just knowing what Minnie Mouse does, knowing what the Taffeta shift line is and what the Taffeta shift line does, and also just looking back and realizing just how powerful just discarding their whole hand is, realizing that that they are playing a combo deck and not an aggro deck. And I think this match is really important. There's a lot to gain from this as far as practicing because I don't know if I would have recognized all those things if I hadn't recorded this match. So it's one thing, guys, if you're going to record your matches just to watch, it's a whole nother thing to record your matches and really sit down and be critical with yourself and point out all of the mistakes that you made. And then also be willing to take other people's advice on all the mistakes that you made. So you just have to be able to do that. I take Ben to my will, hoping that I might get to live another turn, but because I didn't ink last turn, it's all for nothing. So yeah, but that's how the match goes. We'll go ahead and let him finish his combo out because he does have everything he needs. So yeah, it is what it is. Inks pulls that back. Of course, he has another one in his hand because he has half his deck in his hand. Yep. So that's how it goes. So, but ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I hope there was a lot to learn. Um I hope there was a lot to learn. Baja Blast is a lot of fun and I'll probably play it again. We'll see. The set's almost over, so maybe not. I want to try some Simba Rockstar Stitch Pride Land stuff, but yeah, it is a fun deck. I definitely recommend giving it a try before the set ends. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also check out Andrew's Racer deck. It is kind of fun. You'll catch people by surprise that just don't know the cards. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing, remember, stay happy and healthy, and I'll see you around, all right?